Hello everyone! Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do another reaction video. We done a reaction video when it came to the FNAF movie. We done a one when it came to the the memes. Today we're doing a YouTube channel. Today's not that one. Cat the Captain Jack Show, aka Captain Jack. He's a Monster Jam Monster Truck, Monster Jam little showcase. But but watch a couple things and I just want the outcome because it pisses me off on what on some of these opinions. So I want to react with y'all and basically, yeah, just get to it. What's this?
Raising franchises that should be resurrected. Choro Q, specifically the
Okay, no, dude,
hype.
I
Did
don't
you
do.
know that Classroom Crusher is the
Honestly, we're gonna be on. We're only gonna be doing monster truck related things, not racing. Like this right here
raising
is racing.
franchises? Did
Racing. We're gonna do only monster truck things.
you know that Classroom Crusher is the first school bus monster truck that took Bell so long to debut? Before the truck even exists, there was another school bus monster truck that competed in Monster Jam, that being Higher Education.
Yeah,
However, this is an independent truck, not a Monster Jam truck.
it was still a good truck though. Like I still like how that kicked in actually. And I think Dog actually might go into that truck instead actually. Because in Monster Truck Overdrive, the two of the I own for Rec Room, which I'm probably gonna have a show probably Sunday, not Tuesday, because miscalculations. He's probably gonna go into this truck instead of identity theft because I don't know. He just wants to do it.
It debuted in 2011 and ran at Monster Jam from 2012, I believe so, until 2021. The truck itself can for some reason be playable in Monster Jam Steel Titans 2 and Monster Jam Showdown, both of the latest installments of the Monster Jam video games. But here's the twist.
I think using why fans, so many fans like the truck because it's a school bus. It's a school bus monster jam. It's a school bus monster truck. So many people like the truck. So
There was also another school bus Monster Jam truck, which made it as a Spin Master Monster Jam truck, not a real
yeah, Fuel
truck.
Academy. Yeah,
And
that
Fuel
one.
Academy was its name, in which its diecast discontinued 2 years ago. But now we have the Classroom Crusher truck that debuted this year with Camden Murphy behind the wheel, replacing his Bakugan Dragonoid truck, which competed in its final event being last year's World Finals before being thrown away. Then he will have Spider-Man as a substitute.
I kind of feel like when it came to choosing the driver for Classroom Crusher, I definitely saw Bakugan as definitely a good truck to be replaced by that truck because if you think of it, this is what I think because during this year there were two trucks that were debuted. There was Sparkle Smash and then was Cosmic Crusher. I think Sparkle Smash replaced Bakugan Dragonoid, and I think Max D was Cosmic Crusher replaced Max D. That's what I think because it makes sense because both Sparkle Smash and Bakugan are Spin Master trucks, but Bakugan was based on a TV show. So I feel like they don't. I feel like Spin Master lost the rights to have that truck, or like because they get from TV show. So they actually made a truck that they owned. So like, yeah, that's what I think.
Truck before now debuting this truck at this year's event at San Diego. The
Yeah,
same venue.
I'm actually glad that he drove Spider-Man before. Like I'm happy that he drove Spider-Man before going into Classroom because I mean, Spider-Man is an amazing truck. I love Spider-Man. That's one of my favorite trucks. But yeah, anyways.
Thunder Roar's debut. And I would like to congratulate Colt Stevens for making this truck so successful. Not only winning 2 world championships, but also becoming one of my personal favorites. So as always, don't be a tight one and walk the plank. Did you know?
That was corny as fuck. That was cringy as fuck. But no, I'm actually yeah. I can give him on that. I do think Carl Stevens out of the trucks that have been debuted for the past couple of years. I do see Mr. Coates being the most successful one because out of like this year, and I don't know actually what was debuted in 2020. Sorry, in 2022. I don't know what truck was debuted in 2022. I can't remember. But in 2023, you had Thunder Lords, 2024, JCB, and then 2025, Sparkle Smash and Classroom. I definitely see Thunder Lords be the most successful one because it won 2 championships, 4 finals, definitely. It's pitching its debut year. Tristan Dawson, Tristan, make it to the finals at World Finals back in SoFi, and then also win another championship, the City Actions in Salt Lake City, and also win a Series Points championship. McCall Stevens won two. Yeah, I think Cole and from the lowest were like the most successful ones. Anyway, next video. That.
Did you know that El Toro Loco has similar jaw lines to another monster truck? Back when the truck
It's one thing. It's one
debuted in
thing.
2001, it has these style of jaw lines.
It's one
That
thing.
same jawline design will
Oh, we
later
know
be
it.
used to another
Also,
truck.
yeah,
And
Teenage.
that truck in question was
It's
the Teenage Mutant
Yeah,
Ninja Turtle
yeah,
Raphael
MT.
monster
That's
truck, which it
funny.
ran from 2003, the year where I was born, until 2012. You can already tell that the truck utilizes the same design as El Toro
Well, it
Loco.
kind of has to do that, buddy.
Outside of Monster Jam, the whole design will later be used for Crazy Heifer from the Monster Truck Destruction mobile game, and then the
I used to play that game actually. I used to play that game. It's actually not bad.
new El Nitro Toro design, which debuted at Monterey this year. However, for El Toro Loco itself, it received a new design for this year, which it sort of removed the economy of the truck's appearance, although its original design can still be seen internationally. If I'm honest, I do not mind its new design. I think it's still the same truck with some little changes. No matter the change they have given, the truck will still be one of my personal favorites. So don't be a type 1 and walk the
Hold on.
plank.
I wanted to see actually if you can you actually see the difference? Oh, is the old one still driving internationally? Because I swear it's not. I swear to God it was not driving internationally. Hold on. Actually gotta check this. Okay, hold on. Next
Did
video,
you
we're gonna
know
do
that what was the Greenland's Mohawk Warrior is the only Monster Jam truck with a single quote in a video game? Back when Monster Jam Path of Destruction released in 2010, there is where Mohawk Warrior made its video game debut, in which once selected, it only has a single quote.
Always unpredictable, it's Mohawk Warrior.
This can get a little annoying, as every single playable truck has 4 different quotes each one. But now, when Monster Jam Showdown released last year, it doesn't have any quotes. Yeah, it's pure silence, I know. Every single truck should have a quote when selected or when they're about to hit the track. Take Max D as an example.
It's Monster Jam's only futuristic SUV, Maximum Destruction.
And Max D, get ready to crush a new record!
I wish Milestone fixes this problem. Fear the curse and walk the
Okay, I do see. I get what it means about like that, but like they're not gonna get Scott. They're not. Yeah, I like the way they do it. So shut up. It's fine with the way it is.
Turn car obsession into
The worst Monster Jam driver pairings in Monster Energy. Right on this one, we're going to be including drivers who drove the pickup truck and SUV versions. First in the list is Carl Van Horn. I had no idea what is this pairing. Why would you put a former Gravedigger driver behind the wheel of this truck? Thankfully, like
Because that's what they do. What do you mean? Why would they do that? They put okay. Oh my God. You can't just say why would they pay a Gravedigger driver, a former. It means, former means he's not driving that truck anymore and into this truck. This truck's pretty popular, actually. I hope you know
he
that.
said in Blacksmith, he only drove it for a single show. Our
Yeah,
next one in the
probably because the driver who was supposed to drive that show couldn't make it. You know.
list is Colton Eichelberger. This part-time Max D driver had driven this truck at his Monster Jam debut, and like previously, he only drove it for a single show. However, nowadays, his Monster Jam careers has been thrown away. If you want to see him drive again, you're out of luck. And here is the one responsible for debuting Pirate's Curse. Steven Sins Jr. As I said in Scooby-Doo, he has done so well in the truck, but now he's switched. And nowadays, he is now in Monster Trucks Unlimited.
Maniac!
The worst Monster Jam driver pairings in
Donkey Kong.
which the truck was based off the popular Nintendo character of the same name. Moving on up first is the former El Toro Loco driver, Becky McDonough. Back in 2010, she made her debut behind the wheel of the truck before retiring at the end of the event at San Jose. Next is an independent legend, Craig Christensen. As I mentioned in the worst pairings in Blue Thunder, I mentioned that also in the 2010 season, he replaced Frank Krebel. Although Krebel looked better in the truck, not Christensen. Then we got this other independent legend, Dan Rodoni. I mean, what in the world? Dan Rodoni can paint this truck as a one of Theo on his Patriot chassis. You know what they say, he didn't do any monkey business. The worst.
Okay, two things. One, I should take three things. One, Becky Dunn was a good driver. I don't know why you're complaining it's the worst parent. She's a good driver. She's a really good driver. I see her. She doesn't drive, but she's kind of like a crew chief. I would say when it comes down to Titan, her husband, Struck, and when it comes down to the other guy, the Christensen, I don't know if it's supposed to be Christensen. He's a good driver also. I don't know why y'all complaining about it. Anyways, also number three, Autologo they do run the old Autologo body in the national. I just found it. Yeah, I'm surprised they do. I don't know why they don't do the new one anymore. I'm not saying I don't like it, but I like the new one better than the old one. Alright, that's all I needed. Alright, moving on.
Pull up in a Bugatti. The worst Monster Jam driver pairings in the Monster Truck. This used to be the flagship sponsor from Monster Jam. And for this list, I'm going to include the ones who driven the original truck and Firestorm. The first one in the list is Chuck Warner. Oh, truck me! He was the one responsible for retiring the truck since Monster Jam continues running the sponsor. What was he thinking? The next one is...
Hey? What do you mean? What was he thinking? He can run the truck into time if he wants to. Like...
Mostly the drivers who had taken over the truck on Inferno. As Monster Talk said, this never used to be a good truck. Luckily, the body will later be...
I personally liked Inferno because back when I was last season in Monster Monsters, I drove Iron Outlaw. My friend was at Phoenix. I think it was Phoenix something. He drove Inferno, and he was.
He made it into a different chassis, which will later become Donkey Kong. And the last one in the list is Lindsay Reed.
Hey, wait a minute.
So you're saying a world freestyle champion who won in 2019 and drove it for and hold on.
What the hell?
Why is there a girl driving a Hot Wheels Monster Jam truck? Well, I took some research, and that was actually her first truck before becoming a parent in Scooby-Doo, which I made a short about it if you haven't watched it yet. The worst...
Okay, for one, saying why is a girl driving Hot Wheels is kind of sexist. I'm sorry. It's just like, and also, Lindsay was a good driver. I don't know what you're saying. Like, oh, she's a bad driver. She's a good driver. And even though that was the first truck she drove before going into Scooby-Doo, she was still doing pretty good.
The worst Monster Jam driver pairings in Backwards Bob. At first in the list is this driver, who I still don't want to mention his name. He previously driven Monster Bots, but right now he needed a new ride for next year. Before, you know how. The next one shows...
That's the only one I can actually agree on, because you don't know, that driver used to drive that's the owner of Buckshot. Yeah, he did some bad stuff. I'm not gonna explain how, but he did some pretty bad stuff. But okay, okay. When I drive Buck Wild, a lot of people say, "Oh, that truck's the part of the Team Buckshot." You know that, right? No, it's not. Buck Wild is not a monster truck. It's a mud truck, like a little, not really a mud truck, but it's kind of like a. AT like a speedster kind of thing. It looks like a speedster, but it's not a monster truck. So yeah, I took the name Buck Wild as my own, and it's not a part. It's just Team Buck Wild. It's not a part of Team Buckshot. It would never be part of Team Buckshot. It's Buck Wild.
Showcasing is George Valhan. This pairing explains why is it running on Air Force Afterburner. And after Arnhem Netherlands, he had a hand injury. And lastly, we have Ryan Huffaker. Why are we having two of the same truck? Oh, I get it. In 2015, there were two chassis, and this one was destroyed in a fire, which that explains why it didn't run for more shows. If I didn't see this truck before, then I still don't wanna.
Hot Chalky, Ulu.
How did you?
Okay, the guy, the second guy, the Mohawk. He was a good driver. Like, from the of Mohawk, yeah, he's a good driver. I don't know what to say.
The worst Monster Jam driver pairings in Bulldozer, El Toro Loco's predecessor. At first, we have Elton Depew. This pairing may be the reason why he abandoned the Taurus team. And back at World Finals 2, not only he broke the right front tire, but also replaced Guy Wood. The second one in the list is Kevin Lewis. Back at the worst driver pairings in Maximum Destruction, I mentioned him. However, I do not even agree with this driver at all. Luckily, he now started crewing and driving for independent teams. And the last one is the only independent driver in this list, Paul Stander. Back at the Thunder Nationals, he ran the truck on what was the original Extreme Overkill, but he ran the truck until its retirement in 2003. Wait, the worst Monster GM driver pairings in Blacksmith. At first in the line is Aaron Basil. Oh, shuck off! He was the one responsible for retiring the truck to make way for Captain's Curse. Although I do not mind the truck, albeit without the driver. Next is the then NEA police.
You can't just say he's responsible for retiring the truck. No, he's not. Monster Jam retires trucks to make way for new trucks, okay? He's not responsible for anything.
Driver Norm Miller. During the truck's full season debut, he teamed up with Corey Clark and Ryan Huffaker. But when the truck made its World Finals debut, he gave the truck to Pablo Huffaker and has suffered a left lane curse. Anyways, and lastly, there's the former Gravedigger driver, Carl Van Horn. After Dennis Anderson had suffered an injury at New Orleans 2003, he ended up taking Pablo's spot while he drove Gravedigger at World Finals 4. But this was the only event he competed. How adorable. The worst Monster
I'm starting not to like this guy already.
Did you note that there are 5 versions of Avenger that aren't World Finals paint schemes? First one showcasing is the Global Avenger, which ran exclusively at Tampa 2021, sponsoring the industrial response company of the same name. The second one is, what? A Garner's Avenger that ran at Indianapolis 2023, which is Chevy C10 body resembles that to Overboard. The third one is this beautiful Blue Avenger, which ran exclusively at this year's event at Detroit, and in collaboration with the Detroit Lions. And the last two are the schemes that ran at the Superstar Challenge, the Fire Avenger, which debuted in 2019, and the Nitro Avenger, which debuted last year. Boy, Jim Kohler never disappoints running schemes. After almost a decade since the absence of Backwards Bob, in one of Monster Jam's episodes, the current voice of Monster Jam, which is Scott Jordan, had announced that in the event at Spokane, we will see the return of the truck. This is even bigger news, since the truck haven't run for Monster Jam since 2016. So yeah, in the end, it actually came to fruition. At the event at Spokane, Washington on November 8th to 10th, it has been driven by one of the Team Throttle Monster drivers, Dalton Widener, on his Jurassic Attack chassis, even though there's already another Jurassic Attack in the event, where not only he won racing once and skills twice, but right on the truck's return show, he instantly won his first overall with the truck. A very well-deserved comeback nonetheless. And after that, the truck will now be shelved for the first time since 2011. And the truck has yet to appear in Monster Jam's website, by the way.
Learn how to use AI.
My favorite franchise had parts that are way sick. There's a cartoon.
This
Did you know that the JCB Digatron is one of the few Monster GM trucks that was sponsored by a vehicle manufacturer? The first manufacturer they sponsored was built for Tough, and Blue Thunder was chosen to run the sponsor until 2010 under various drivers until Lindsay Wink, before now revamping its body until it was placed on hold. And the second manufacturer they sponsored was Suzuki. They firstly sponsored another sponsored truck by the name of Sobi, but they would later debut a signature
Sobi.
monster truck named Team Suzuki and ran from 2004 to 2008 and was driven by Kathy Winston until 2006 and Bobby Parr until its retirement. Then, JCB became their third manufacturer in sponsorship, and Digatron was the one picked to compete with Tristan England behind the wheel. Did I forget that he was almost there to defend racing? Don't be a tight ass and walk the plank. Did you know that Sparkle Smash isn't the first and only Unicorn Monster GM truck that existed? There was indeed another Monster GM truck that was themed around a unicorn. That truck in question was Battlecore, which was ran exclusively for a Camper Crush stunt at Anaheim 2015 and was driven by the former pro skater Rob Dyrdek. The difference between these two is that Sparkle Smash is a custom 3D unicorn body, while Battlecore on the other hand was a 2004 Cadillac Escalade with a horn accessory, but it was only used for pit party. For pit party displays. Battlecore was originally intended to have a 3D body as seen in a concept art. However, despite Battlecore was only used once, Sparkle Smash will be used in competition with Caleb Blood driving it. I can't wait to see it tear up the track. So
Rich or
good grief. David Olford is indeed another Team Throttle Monster driver to compete at the World Finals. And I know what you're thinking. Jack, why did you add it David Olford as another questionable? Well, here's the reason. His new truck, Velociraptor, debuted 2 years ago, and he stated that he may compete in a future World Finals. And my question is, why are we having 2 Team Throttle Monster trucks in the World Finals now? Well, that might be obvious. On May 17th, he participated at the LCQ, which he will win his bid to the main field. Another thing that Chris Kohler participated in that competition, but he unfortunately lose. For the scale that I'm going to give to David Alford, it'll be reasonable. That's it, no contest. I sure Tuto had so much fun with his teammate Dalton Widener.
You can't put him on scale saying, oh, like our scale thing in this reserve. He won LCQ, which means he gets automatically to World Finals. That's how he, yeah. It's he got one fair and square. Like
An Italian contest.
If you want to learn
Why in the AJ Mullet truck are there so many mentioned edits? Monster Jam, after 3 trucking years, have finally announced a new game. Well, shoot, Feld, it's about dang time. I sure that Monster Jam just parted.
I actually been waiting for a new game for a long time to get one. I have Two Titans 2 right now in on the Switch, but I don't have I don't have Monster Jam Showdown. I want that. I want it.
Because in Steel Titans 2, they only released one DLC, and it seems that their new game is gonna be titled Monster Jam Showdown. And when I look at the trailer, oh my gosh, the humanity, it looks detailed. It feels like Monster Jam is running on RTX on. So what do we get before MJ Showdown? COVID closed all of the shows, and team fans are having PhD in sharks. Who didn't have a vaccine? 5 innocent good trucks haven't returned full time. And now, Northern Nightmare has been finally brought back. Be the curse and walk the plank.
It does look like COVID did come in, and again, 5 trucks have gone, which were Whiplash, Pirate's Curse. Technically, Northern Nightmare also went bye-bye also. Alien Invasion, Pseudo Fortune, I need to see the list again.
having PhD, 5 innocent good trucks having returned gold.
Oh, and wait, no, okay, no. Blue Thunder came back in 2022. So yeah, just 5 then. But yeah, I'm having them never came back for Detroit, and hopefully they can find a driver for maybe a driver to drive on maybe in the future. Maybe a driver who's Canadian, maybe. I'm moving on.
Real men don't.
Did you know that the Lucas stabilizer shares the same color pattern as 3 familiar Monster Jam trucks? The first one being the Safe Auto Minimizer, which ran from 2005 to 2009 and was driven by Mark McDonald. The second one is its predecessor, the Lucas Soul Crusader, which ran from 2011.
I wonder why Lucas has the same kind of pound body thing as Lucas Oil Stabilizer. Both represent for Lucas Oil.
To 2020 and was driven exclusively by Lindsay Wink. Unfortunately, Wink was intended to return to Monster Jam but was later shut down. And lastly, we got 3 versions of Medusa. The championship-winning body from 2004 to 2006, the extended cab version from 2000.
Trucks, probably the best, probably the most best one because it won 2 championships, and it's only been 3 people. Sorry, only 2 women who've won championships. No, sorry, 3 people. No, there's been 3 women who've won championships that are good. Like, just only been 3 who've won championships. There's been Medusa, Lindsay Wink. No, not Lindsay Wink. Fuck. Sorry, Lindsay Reed, and then there was Cynthia
2009
Gauthier.
to 2010, and the other version from 2015 to 2016 and was driven by Brianna Mahan. Seems like Monster Jam is best known for debuting trucks with the same color pattern, but in the meantime, I will accept their opinion. So don't be a Titus and walk the plank. The worst Monster Jam driver pairings in Zombie. Coming up first in the list is Chelsea Van Cleve. I don't even agree with her driving this truck, but interestingly, she only drove it for the 2023.
They needed drivers for that show, and it's also during the season, so it kind of makes sense to put it in. And also, nowadays she's actually not bad actually. Yeah, Chelsea's actually not bad actually, surprisingly now. She's actually pretty good.
South African tour. Next up, we got Colt Stevens. He was originally intended to drive Bulldozer for the 2018 season, but it wasn't ready yet. Until the truck finally debuted at Nashville, but now because of Feld Motorsports' budget cuts and Monster Jam's unfamiliar with diesel, they will later drop the contract with the Diesel brothers, resulting Bulldozer being based on display and Bro Camino being thrown away. As of currently, he now drives Thunder Roarers and become a world champion. And the worst driver pairing.
You can't really say that Cole. Yeah, I don't know why even Cole was doing really good actually in Zombie. I've seen little videos of Cole in Zombie. He's doing really good actually. Win a couple of freestyles and overall racing. He's doing pretty good in Zombie. And by the way, the whole Bros and Bulgaria thing. Technically, that's also the thing. When COVID came along, Monster didn't want to renew the contract. So yeah, they never came back. They might come back. They said they might come back to drive trucks that's owned by Monster Jam and not diesel though. If they do bring a independent truck into Monster Jam, they have to drive something that's not a diesel. That's what I think. Alright,
of all time is none other than Amy Hood. She's most likely Monster Jam's most hated driver. If you want more information of her, check this video. The worst Monster Jam driver pairings. The worst Monster Jam driver pairings in Blue Thunder. For this short, I'm going to be including drivers who drove the Billboard Top version and the regular version. First up, we got Frank Krebel. During the 2010 season, Craig Christensen replaced him in Donkey Kong. And I don't even agree with him driving this truck and the Advanced Auto Parts Grinder. As of currently, he now became a member from Monster Trucks Unlimited. Up next is Tyler Manninga. He only served.
I'm sorry, Tyler Manica. This truck almost won showdown in World Finals. And then when the next year went on to drive Gravedigger, Yeah, you are on some kind of crack, buddy. This was one of the best drivers to drive the truck. Holy
As a
shit.
substitution to Dope Milligan, who unfortunately passed away 9 years before, and his rookie season became overrated. As of right now,
So you're saying that the only reason why he's back, he's overrated. It's called being good, buddy. Know it.
he now became one of the Gravedigger drivers. And lastly, there's George Valham. After he left the TMNT team in 2004, he now teamed up with Tony Farrell before now becoming the punk with all the junk and took over an Escalade, and then he will run as Mohawk Warrior to this day. The worst Monster GM driver pairings in Rottweiler. Unfortunately, this whole list is about independent drivers campaigning the name, but there's one Fell driver in this list. At first, we got Corey Schneider. I had no idea what is this pairing. The former driver of Toxic drives the truck on higher education, but that was from 2017 to 2019. Next up, we have Preston Perez. Again, I had no idea what is this pairing, and like Corey Schneider,
Was actually not that bad. I saw a little bit of things, the clips back in 2022, I think it was. He was actually
he can paint the truck on higher education, this time in 2020. And after that, the chassis will be mounted as higher education again. And lastly, there's Dustin Brown. He only drove the truck as a substitution to Rock Schmidt at Abu Dhabi 2013. Then he will have a feeling that he will drive Monster Body in 2015 and underutilized Junkyard Dog in 2016. The worst
A Japanese knife for 20.
The worst Monster GM driver pairings in Dalmatian. Coming at first in the line is Brianna Mahan. What?
I'm sorry, what the fuck? What the fuck? You're telling me Brianna Mahan, who's been one of the best female drivers that we have this year, is the first on this list.
Why did this pairing existed? Well, this was her last truck before taking time off due to having a child. And like I said in Scooby-Doo,
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
they got tired of seeing her driving Whiplash. Next up is
tired of her driving Whiplash. The reason why Whiplash was retired because she was also pregnant again. She got pregnant 2 times. I think. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I think she's. Yeah, I think Brianna Mahan has. Yeah, doesn't Brianna Mahan have 2 kids? Yeah. Yeah, because after COVID came along, she had to retire, and then she came back in was it 2020? Was it this year? It was last year she came back. Yeah, she came back last year because Cynthia was pregnant last year. So yeah.
Chad Tingler. A male driver makes this list. And like I said in Gravedigger, he weighs a
Can I say that I used to drive this truck also back then? I used to drive this truck back then, and you saying that, oh.
time and money in Fell trucks. But in the meantime, he only serves as a substitute driver for Candice Jolly at the World Finals. Our last driver in the list is Blake Granger. Yet another male driver in Dalmatian makes his list. And like I said,
This is so sexist. Why are you saying that a male driver shouldn't drive in this truck? Blake has been in so many trucks. He's been in Auto Loco, Megalodon, Max D, and he drove Dalmatian literally this year at the World Finals, and he won a championship in this truck. And you're saying, oh, he's a bad driver.
Chad Tingler, he only served as a fill-in driver to Cynthia Gauthier for only 2 stops. And later in the following year, he will campaign Max D, before now becoming an international driver. The worst, Monster Jam driver pairings in Monster Mods. And I can already tell who am I starting with. At first in the line is Todd Frolic. Its debut season became lackluster because of its driver and its poor performance at World Finals 4, which it resulted their very first movie to be completely scrapped. And afterwards, he will retire from driving. Next up is Joe Miller. This is a very lame pairing. Luckily, he only drove it for 2012 to 2013. along with Tarleton, and like Frolic, he will retire from driving. And the last one right here is Bryce Kenny. But Bryce Kenny? Oh, I remember. His rookie season doesn't represent any brands. That was until 2017, which for now on would take over the Greatwood-sponsored Mohawk Warrior and still runs it to this day.
I'm sorry, Bryce Kenny. Buddy drove this truck literally this year, did a hell of a good job, and he drove it. He's a good fucking driver. Okay, at least you didn't see Ryan Anderson. Ryan Anderson used to drive that truck before he went into Son of a Digger. I'm happy you did not say that you did not say Ryan. If you said Ryan, I was gonna fucking crash out.
Fortnite is officially back on.
The worst Monster GM driver pairings in Maximum Destruction, aka Max D. At first is an independent legend, Craig Christensen. He may be the reason why Neil Elliott got replaced. Fortunately, Elliott did return in 2010, but after that, he will return back to his racing team. Next, we have Morgan Kane.
Morgan Kane was a hell of a good driver. He went from Max D to Gravedigger. All into Gravedigger, you have to be a good driver.
I do not mind the driver, but I do mind that he won the hashtag More Monster GM series and got invited to World Final 16 running a gold variant, which it resembles that to Goldberg. By the way, I do not mind this paint scheme at all. And the last one in the list is Kevin Lewis, but I don't have any information nor footage I can find. Only thing to know about him is the Hedro Bulldozer. That's it. No.
You're saying that, oh, he's a bad driver because you don't have enough footage or no evidence he was a bad driver in Max D?
No footage from him in Maximum Destruction. I apologize for that. The worst.
Yeah, no.
The worst Monster GM driver pairings in Gravedigger. Yet another iconic and personal favorite truck makes in this episode. For now, let's take a look at the drivers. At first, we have Chad Tingler. He just wasted a lot of time and money taking over different Bell identities. Luckily, as of currently, he now became an indie driver.
Chad was drove it for a big injury, I'm pretty sure. But he wasn't bad back then. Also this, he's not bad, but back then he was pretty good, actually.
Driver. Next up in the list is Colton Eichelberger. A purple Gravedigger driver makes our list. He lives at Paxton, Illinois, just like his father Tom Mintz. He indeed references a rivalry with...
Okay, Colton is actually a really good driver, but having him in Gravedigger though, yeah, this is the only one so far I can actually agree with, because having him in Gravedigger as his father in Max D, that doesn't make any sense.
With Digger and Max D, he switched over with Morgan Kane the following year, but now because of his family conflicts, his careers were pushed further until he came back to drive from the Roars. And finally, we got Cole Bernard, yet another purple Digger driver makes this list. And the reason for that is because at the end of the 2017 season, he will become independent and drive the Black Pearl for the time being. The worst Monster GM driver pairings in Scooby-Doo. Since the truck originally was about to retire, I'm including it anyways. First up in the list is Lindsay Reed. She keeps outdating her the worst Monster GM driver pairings in Scooby-Doo. Since the truck originally was about to retire, I'm including it anyways.
It just retired this year. It was replaced by Mr. Bailey Circuit. So yeah, a bit late on that.
First up in the list is Lindsay Reed.
Do you mean the only driver who got the truck a world championship? The only driver who got the truck a world championship. It put it on the worst list. Do your research better.
She keeps outdating her Monster GM driver's license. First with Wonder Woman, and then with Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Instead, she kept driving the first truck she has driven, until she drives Lucas Stabilizer for now. Up next in the list is
is probably the best driver to drive that truck. Even though she has not won a world championship, she's probably the best driver to drive that truck. Oh, I'm gonna be
Brianna
killing me.
Mahan. Since I mentioned that her truck Whiplash is a truck that fans don't even recognize the body or they don't need it a girl-themed truck, like Lindsay Reed, her driver's license got outdated, and this time she will take over the second truck she has driven. And finally, we got the man who firstly took over Pirate's Curse, Steven Sims Jr. He has done so well behind the wheel of the previous truck I mentioned, but now he left it in the dust.
Yeah.
And right now he rejoined
good,
Monster
yeah.
Trucks Unlimited.
But
This
why
is
the hell- what's this,
unacceptable.
though?
The worst Monster GM
Want to create your
This is it.
the worst Monster GM driver pairings in El Toro Loco. At first we got Kayla Blood. Her name doesn't even fit on the truck at all. Luckily she
You're gonna have to be Mexican or something like that to fit the truck? Oh my god. She's a good driver, and you're saying that she's oh yeah.
stepped in all the way until 2018. And after that, she will take over Soldier Fortune for the time being. Next, we have John Zimmer. He only stepped in to drive this truck for the infamous Manchester 2019 show. After that, he will go back to Team Dragon because he doesn't represent well. And
Well, he's a good driver.
lastly, there's Scott Butte.
Oh, sorry, someone who was team captain of the All-Star Challenge, and who was also pretty good at Monster Team, and you're saying he's worst?
So, what can I say about this driver? He only took over the ICE El Toro
Yeah, and also the former Hot Wheels driver.
Loco until 2020, and that's it. He never stepped in to drive the regular Crazy Bull. Not even for at least one show. By the way, I do not mind
The Ice Auto Loco is still Auto Loco. It's just a different body. The fuck?
Megalodon has taken over Monster Jam. As you may or may not know, all Monster Jam's tours from this and next year's has been bombarded, ravished, and devoured by this demonoid phenomenon. Apparently, this is because it is technically the key merchandise seller of Monster Jam's fleet. And it has
Actually, that's very true. Actually, Megalodon's like one of the most popular trucks, actually.
because before this invasion, I liked Megalodon. But now when I see it in person, I feel terrified. And when I take over, its cockpit feels like I'm inside a shark's brain. But I get it. I get why everyone likes this truck. However, come on, it's not my personal favorite. Don't get me wrong, Monster Jam is a very good league. This is no different than Monster Patrol competing in every single tour. Except that Triple B owns it nowadays. But in certain shows, it is way possible to choose which is very nice or very powerful. So, to get rid of this monstrosity, I will not take over it. I want someone to at least stop running Megalodon from now on. Because Megalodon has taken over Monster.
Okay, Megalodon, the most popular truck. Anyone, no one to drive it. Have you thought of other trucks who are also in every tour? Let's see, we have El Toro Loco. Well, actually, no, not El Toro Loco, because there's only 4 of them, actually. Well, not including Independence, so it's only 4. Grave Digger. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But no, Megalodon's a good truck, though. They picked a lot of good drivers, like Bray, what was it? Bray Wyatt was a good driver. Tyler Duke, Coy Rumble, Ashley Sansford, Ted Kolechka, Angelina Knock, Charlie Parkin, like just so many good drivers that
3
was on
reasons
that
why
truck.
There's again Whiplash.
AI generated.
What's this?
Whiplash used to be campaigned exclusively by Brianna Mahan from 2018 to 2022. And since the truck debuted along with Brodozer, which I mentioned in my first top 6 video, it also fell through. The reason why I say this is because fans don't even recognize the 41 Willis body that Blacksmith and Captain's Curse used to be. Another thing that they got tired of seeing it, or they don't need a girl-themed truck. They instead replaced her truck with Scooby-Doo for next year.
A lot of people want to see Whiplash come back. A lot of people want Whiplash to come back. I don't know what this man's saying. Moving on.
You spin me. sick and tired of this shit.
And that is
Get
it for
somebody else
shorts. How much time do I have left? It's been 45 minutes. I say we do the videos another video. So that'll be it for today, folks. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and like always, pick up people. Peace out, y'all.